Um, Sharing another story. I still in my kid years before I moved. My family, I got instilled values in me to always try to help people, even if it meant that sometimes people will try to abuse that and like because you help people in good faith and there will always be characters of just people that either aren't used to that or in survival mode. But I basically got instilled the values of care for other people and but also be smart about it. And when when I was a little kid, my both my parents would go out into our community and shovel people's back front yards. Particularly, there's no there's no shed or anything for a car to go into, so it is very common for our family at least to go into well first our yard first and then shovel a bit and then go around to just around the other houses. And once I was big enough to be able to hold a shovel and not have it fumble me, I my parents recruited me to also join in shoveling. And in the neighborhood we're in, I guess it is very common for an individual to do the work and then like go up to the person and expect them to pay, which I feel like is very I think that's dumb because like if you're doing a service and you like ask around and then they pay you up front and then you do the shoveling, that makes more sense to me. But someone doing the work and then going up and demanding money, it 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 happened. So I don't know what to say about the people that did it and what their thought process was, but for me it was so weird just trying to wrap my head around why it was so normalized. But because that was the normalized thing, my my family would start shoveling and people would like try to tell us to shoo away and we try to tell them that we're doing this for free. We don't expect anything back from you. And I think because of that there's other stuff too. But because that was one of the big things that helped us be able to connect with the community even though I was so little and could not talk yet, that it's hard for them to bond with me through communication and with my parents solely speaking English in a Spanish speaking community, that it was tough. It was tough. But they got invited to parties. I didn't because I was a kid and they were adult parties. And so it essentially the stuff that my parents did to try to connect with the community worked. But I just distinctly remember nearly every single year going out and shoveling other people's yards. And that continued as I moved, but then it was it's like seen as like a sweet gesture, but it's also like it had more impact where I lived in my childhood compared to where I grew up in my teen years. So back to childhood area, I distinctly remember my dad still needing to go to work. He worked, I think, like 16-hour shifts and or even longer. It was very rare to see him come home. And so there was an announcement of a blizzard, and well, no, I don't even think there was an announcement of a blizzard. It was very common because I lived in Chicago area that there would be like the assumption that there would be a blizzard, so they give a whole snow day, but then there's days where and then you actually see the day and there's nothing. But then there's other days where there's like a hardcore legit blizzard going on, but it didn't get like forecasted or like so there's no announcement of a snow day and expected that everyone went. And I was so mad because I had to take like over an hour long drive back and forth to school every day, and so in those conditions it was even worse. Uh but it was also expected that my dad or I think it was expected that dad also had to go to work as well. But also there was one time though where he went to work against all odds on a crazy blizzard night day, and then his bosses called him, like he called his bosses were like, what are you doing, go back home, this is no one's gonna be coming today. um but I this particular this one night this particular night there was heavy hard winds, tons of snow, and it felt like every 5 minutes you got like 2-3 inches. And because it was expected that dad still needed to go to work tomorrow, he wasn't out for the count to sleep so that he could be able to actually get to work. And I was the only one that was sent out to do shoveling in the middle of the night. And normally it would mom and dad even like they would be like, absolutely not, you cannot stay outdoors during the night. But it was so bad out there that they knew that no one else was going to be out there, I guess. But they expected me to shovel. And I was a good little kid that listened to what my parents said. So, of course, I did it. But I remembered feeling so lonely and just like I would shovel and I would successfully get through a whole section. But then the moment I turn around, it was all back there. Not in the sense of all the work I did just blew off, but also just there's so much more snow that it felt like the same amount just was there. And I shoveled. I was a little kid, so I don't know how long it actually took, but it felt like hours. It was probably, I'm gonna say at max, it was probably 3 hours of just going out and shoveling, and then I'd like take like a 2 minute break to thaw myself out, going back inside. I'd shovel and then try to shovel my way back in, and then take a 2 minute break to thaw out, and then I'd go back out again. And I I know it's good for a kid to work. It gives good life values and importance, but it felt weird watching no one else come out and help me when I was given this mission. And it feels very isolating being out in a blizzard and just feeling the harsh wind, knowing that you could go inside, but they expect you to go right back out and do work again. And I've also noticed that whenever I try to like casually tell the story again, my parents actively try to shut it down. And I'm not sure if it's just a case of they don't remember it, so they're trying to not think about it, or if it's a case of they feel guilty for what they did. I don't know. I I'll let you go. Please like if you liked the video. Subscribe if you want to hear more from me, and I'll let you go. Bye.